I'll look at the Sneako thing first. So yesterday, Sneako responds to Asmongold's take, says the average legal age for marriage worldwide is 14 for girls. And he also says the Roman Catholics' legal age for marriage is 12 years old for girls. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch this. So for context, Sneako said that America was fighting for the Epstein regime, and I said that Iran is the Epstein regime because being Epstein is not against the law in Iran, because you can get married to 9-year-olds, which is true. And so he's responding to that comment.
Right here, the standard legal minimum age for marriage is 13 for girls, 15 for boys. Worldwide, 14 and 16.
So let me go back. I'm gonna listen to this again.
Right here, the standard legal minimum age for marriage is 13 for girls, 15 for boys. Worldwide, 14 and 16.
Marriages below these ages are allowed with, and you can see there's a bullet point list after that. There shouldn't be a bullet point list. And also 13 is crazy. 13's insane. 13? Oh my God.
And so he used a comparison that a lot of people are going to make. This is the NewsHour narrative. They're going to compare the marriage of Aisha and say that it's backwards, which is like, it's cognitive dissonance. Like, people know the comparison doesn't make any sense.
I didn't use that. He's referring to me criticizing the Prophet Muhammad and his marriage to one of his wives. I think his first, I don't know, a wife. And the wife was either, there are people saying 6, 9, or 12, or 11, something like that. There are some people that have higher metrics, but like, I never brought that up. I never said that. He's basically like, he's attacking an argument I didn't make. Like, I'm talking about Iran's laws. I'm not talking about what the Prophet Muhammad did, because to an extent, yeah, back in the day, people used to get married at 13 years old, and this was normalized. It was normalized in Europe. It was normalized in China. It was normalized in Africa. It's normalized in the Middle East. It was normalized everywhere. But the difference is that, like, you know, many other countries in the world, we have evolved beyond that. Because the life is different, world is different, development is different, and everything is different. And so nowadays, we don't have kids getting married at 13. Iran does. That's the difference.
The difference is getting married.
I don't see, Sneako is putting himself in this position because of his faith, right? So he's trying to defend something that I think that, you know, there's cognitive dissonance, I think, going on with Sneako right now. And let me explain it. You know marrying a 9-year-old is wrong. Everybody knows marrying a 9-year-old is wrong. We know marrying a 12-year-old is wrong. We know marrying a 6-year-old is wrong. Everybody intrinsically knows this that is in any form of a Western culture. We all know this. Unless you're like a weirdo, and you are an Epstein enjoyer, you know this is wrong. But he's defending it because he thinks that he has to, because it's tangential to his religion. Iran does not have to make its laws in accordance with the Prophet Muhammad's marriage concerns. They don't have to do that. They choose to do that.
Comparing it to pedophile blackmail is not the same. Marriage.
Yeah, you're right. It's not pedophile blackmail because over there it's normalized, so you don't need to blackmail anybody. It's just out in the open.
Is consensual. Marriage is with.
You can't consent if you're 13. A 13-year-old cannot consent. That's it. What are we doing? A 13, yeah, like, what? Like...
The permission of the parents. Marriage...
A child cannot consent to sexual interaction with the permission of the parents. No, that's sick. That's how you get trans kids. That's how you get, you know, all types of, like, disgusting... No. Absolutely not. Whoa.
Is healthy and it's supposed to be allowed and it's supposed to protect.
It's healthy and it's to protect? No, we're talking about marrying 13-year-olds and 9-year-olds to grown men. Like, what are we doing here? Like, healthy, and this is lunar years, so actually they're 12. so it's slightly less. Like, whoa. I mean, this is crazy. This is no. And again, I'm talking about Iran's laws. I'm not talking about the Prophet Muhammad. I'm not talking about Islam. I'm talking about Iran's laws. That's what their law says. It's wrong. It's obviously wrong.
Pedophile blackmail on an island is abuse, is demonic, and it's grape. Making that.
Well, is it like? Do you think that if a 13-year-old consents to sex, it's not rape? It is. It's literally, there's a term. It's statutory rape. There's a term for it. Yeah.
Comparison, it doesn't make any sense. The marriage is not allowed if the parties are not consenting and if the parents don't allow it.
So are we saying that a 13-year-old should be able to get married to a grown, like a 40-year-old man, if the parents and the 13-year-old wants that? I mean, are we really saying this? I mean, why are we doing this? What's going on? Like, this is retarded. Everybody knows this is wrong. What are we doing? What's going on? Why are we playing this game? It's so obviously wrong. I don't even know what's happening.
If everybody
You don't need to die on this hill, just stop it.
Not on the same page. Do you think
No, they're not on the same page because they're a child.
people were consenting for so much of the victims of Epstein?
No, the victims of Epstein weren't consenting either. No, of course not.
No. He literally ignored the first sentence here, where it says the standard legal minimum age is 13 for girls, 15 for boys.
It's 12. Solar years is slightly less than the actual amount of years.
It's pretty much consistent with the entire world. Second,
No, it's not. No, the average age for marriage across the entire world is not 13. And to the extent that it is, it's being dragged down by shithole, backwards, brain-dead, inbred countries like Iran and Pakistan that do that instead. That's the reason why any country that has that is a shithole.
Catholic Church marriage.
See, he's thinking that I'm criticizing Islam. This has nothing to do with Islam. And to the extent that you use your religion as a justification, that's just an invalid argument.
Age. Historically, the Roman Catholic Church set the minimum.
Historically. I don't care what they did in 1500. Why would I think about 1500? It's not 1500. Like, what are we making? Like, yeah, yeah, in the 12th century. Like, why are we comparing? I mean, this is, oh my God.
Age for marriage at 12 for females and 14 for males.
Yeah. Yes. That's right. That's right. Back then, it was weird. Pedophilia was more or less normalized. In Greece, it was totally normalized. In Roman culture, it was relatively normalized. In many old cultures and ancient cultures, it was normalized. It was disgusting in every single one of them. But the difference is that in many of those cultures, we have moved past that, and we don't do that anymore because we have acknowledged this is disgusting. This is wrong. We shouldn't do this anymore. And now we can move forward. Not sit in the 12th fucking century. 12th century changes. Look at this.
Historical context, Pope Alexander III established that mutual consent rather than
Oh
parental
my
approval made
God.
a marriage valid. Okay, so they didn't even need parental consent. The minimum age for consent.
Yeah, before the 12th century. I'm talking about the year 2025, 2026. Like,
Was 12 for girls, 14 for boys.
they didn't
Right
have
here.
they didn't have traffic laws in 1200 either. They didn't have all kinds of others. They didn't have cell phones in 1200. They didn't have electricity. So Sneako is making a defense for his religion. I'm not making an attack on your religion. Your religion can make you believe whatever you want. But the moment that you take your religion and you apply it and you turn it into a law, that now has to be justified through ethical, logical means that are not through the same repeated, circular reasoning that your religion creates for itself. So if you want to have this, that's totally fine. I've got no problem with people that are religious wanting to do this. But I think that my point still stands. The Iranians, and again, none of the Iranian people needed to be in the Epstein files, because you want to know what the Epstein files are in Iran? It's the law. That's right. You can get married to a 9-year-old there. Oh, but it's with parental permission. Oh, geez, guys, why didn't I think of that? Yeah. There's no problem. The thing is, Epstein wouldn't be a story over there. It wouldn't even be on the news. It's because that's what people do all the time over there. That's why they're getting married at 13 fucking years old. I've seen videos. I've seen so many fucking videos of child brides in all of these Middle Eastern countries. This is happening in Africa too. There are a couple of European countries that are like kind of tangential to this. That's also really bad. This should be something that us as a civilized Western world can look at and ascribe a universal evil to. This is wrong. It's bad. You can look this up. Actually, don't look it up. Don't look it up. Trust me. Take my word on it. This is wrong. I don't know what we're talking about. So yes, and you don't need, life expectancy at birth was very low in Britain. Yeah, in the 12th century, yes. I don't care what happened in the 12th century. It's not relevant today. So yes, anyway, I think this is a horrible argument. Listen, like, I'm not attacking your religion, man. I'm not attacking your religion. I'm not attacking your prophet. I'm attacking the law that Iran has right now. It is a morally wrong law. And to say and draw a comparison and say that, as if it's some sort of a good thing that they're not in the Epstein files is the biggest self-own that I can ever imagine. That's my point. More wrong religion. Listen, I'm not going to go out and complain or say anything like, yes, we all know that marrying a 9-year-old is wrong. We all know this, but that's not even what I'm talking about right now. There's no reason to even focus on that. Why engage something on a direction that I'm not even interested in? I don't care about that. It's not important. Israel has morally wrong laws. Why aren't we bombing them too? Just a minute. Did I say that we should bomb them for these laws? Did I say that? I don't know if did I say that? I'm just confused. I'm confused. When did I say this? Give me a minute. Let me see logs. I'm not interested. What is this? Roy's more bomb them 1500s. This is something traumatizing situations. So wait, you're wait a second. So we're bombing them, and so what is the amount of bombs that it's going to take that's going to make them pedophiles? 7, 70, 75, 170. How many bombs? All right, so what is the ratio of attraction to age? So to take a civilization from, let's say, 16 to 15 for age of consent, how many bombs do we need for that? And then, is it an increasing scale? So, from 12 to 11, does that take more bombs than it took from 13 to 12? I'm just trying to understand this. Yeah, I'm not sure. So we're bombing them into becoming pedophiles. No, we're not even gonna waste our time with this. No, let's move on. That's ridiculous. Oh my God. Only been following for 3 months. They're still learning. Well, they should have learned already, okay? And they should have. It's too late now. So yes, and problem is you condemn child marriage, you condemn the prophet. That's why many won't do it, and they conjure excuses. Well, the thing is that you don't need to condemn the prophet by condemning child marriage. The reality is that we lived in a broken world, and the world that it was back then, especially in terms of Old Testament prophets, it was a fallen world abandoned by God after the grace was broken, original sin was applied. So this entire idea that we should judge everything based off of like modern day standards, like George Washington had slaves. Like every single guy writing, you know, the fucking Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights probably all thought black people were mentally inferior. Probably, I would say like 90% of them probably thought this, because being racist then was the norm. That was the norm. So what are we doing here judging this? I'm not trying to judge your prophet. I'm not saying this at all, but you can't apply. It's the same as like Moses, right? Just because Moses parted the Red Sea doesn't mean that you can go down there and do it yourself. You're not Moses and you're not Muhammad either. So stop acting like it. I don't get it. I don't understand this. I really don't. I think that there are very few people that, to the extent, think about it like this, to the extent that your ideology contorts your values and your morality into a world where you have to defend child marriage, is that not an indicator that maybe you should recalibrate that ideology? I'm not saying that you shouldn't believe it. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm saying that you can read these things, you can interpret them in many different ways. And I think that there are ways that you can understand and contextualize religious information without trying to constantly draw real-world comparisons to it and defenses to it in the current year. It's unnecessary. It hurts your point. I think it also damages the religion. I think it really does. The amount of people that are trying to run defense for child marriage because they think that there's some sort of religious parallel to it, I think they're making a huge mistake and they're alienating tons of people. And it's a huge, huge problem. Don't do it. Do you think you can convince these primitives though? Sneako's not a primitive. I think that he's a well-meaning, well-intentioned guy, but I think that well-intentioned people can be led in directions that are problematic. And I think that he knows I think that there's a degree of sense in him that he knows what I'm saying is true. He does. He knows this is true. And that's it. And how do I tell you? I'm saying it. Do you not think that your race is an indicator of your intelligence? I think that there's different racial and ethnic differences in everything, right? Whether it's height, race, different types of genetic, dispositions, etc. But again, like, I don't really, this is my opinion, right? Is that I think that everybody's born differently, but everybody should be treated the same. So does that make sense? So like, for example, like in the law, right? Like a woman should be treated the same as a man, even though we all know that men and women are totally different. A tall person should be treated the same as a short person, even though we know tall people and rich people are short people. Tall people and short people are totally the same. A rich person and a poor person should be treated the same by the government, by the law, because that's the right thing to do. So that's that. Whenever I say that I'm an advocate for equality, that's what I'm really talking about. Like, I'm not talking about, like, people are not equal. They're not. Everybody knows they're not equal. There are some people that are functional animals, and there are other people that can build rocket ships. They're effectively two different species. Like, these people are like subhuman, basically, right? But at the same time, that doesn't mean that we can treat them that way. We should not do that. Only to the extent that they hurt other people, then, of course, obviously, we have to do something about it then. But otherwise, they're free to live their life the way that they choose. What? Oh, it's true. It's true. But have you ever seen it? Absolutely. Yes. 100%. Exactly. No, you should see the difference. So listen to some people that have like legitimately like insanely low IQs. Oh my God. It's not even close. It doesn't mean you should treat them that way though. That's just my opinion. But anyway, let's go back over. I'll pull up a few more of these comments here. But yeah, that's what my perspective